Hello, hello, hello. I'm hoping to have a little chat with Mayella about our course that we're starting on the 16th of April. So we just give her a couple of minutes to come on. Hi Joan, hello. Grania's here, Fiona. Hey everybody. And there's Mayella. At a course that she was running in Galway, and the depth of her knowledge about women's health, about holistic women's health, was just incredible. Here she's coming now. Hello, Lovey.
Hi, Antoinette.
I'm good. I'm just telling everybody that I met you first about 6 or 7 years ago in Galway. It's possibly a bit more actually. And yeah, you did this fabulous workshop. And it was, for me, it was the first time I had come across, well, loads of things you talked about, and loads of things that you showed us. And it gave me a real deep dive into holistic women's health, because I knew the physical stuff, I knew the stuff I'd learned in biology in college, but not all the amazing stuff that you knew. Can you give us a little background about everything that you do, please?
Well, I spend my time half the time in Mexico, where I'm native from, but I'm married and a Northern Irish man, so the rest of the year I'm in Ireland and other places. I've been working on women's health for, I don't know, about 20 years now, but out in the open, about 15 years. I have a PhD in neurosciences, and I was an academic for a while, but so that helps my curiosity when it comes to spiritual stuff, to energetic stuff. I'm always wondering if there is a scientific backing somewhere, or is it coming soon? I came to women's work through my own experience. You know, I never had very many physical issues to do with the womb, but it became very apparent to me very early on that the womb is where it's at for women. When I read a chapter on Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, he devotes a whole chapter to the pain body of women that is found within our womb, and how it is not just a physical, a depository of physical trauma and stories, but also a place where we keep the stories of our ancestors to do with trauma we've experienced and they've experienced. And he says that so long as we keep ignoring the womb and the pain body within the womb that expresses itself through menstruation, menstrual problems, hormonal imbalances, whatever we do is going to be of little relevance. So we could do very good yoga and meditation and all these things that are also very good, but we need to look at womb issues at some point, sooner rather than later, to actually get to the core of our issues. And my work is mostly to do with helping women get to their pain body. And in order to do that, we use different tools. So we use energetic medicine, like the womb blessing. I also teach Rahani, which is a lovely angelic medicine that works with energetic blockages and connection with our divinity. But there's also, the vaginal steaming that I promote, which is very physical, and yet if your plants are pure and beautiful, they will unavoidably move an emotional stuff as well. So it's some physical tools. The yoni egg is a literal inner massage of your vaginal canal that also moves necessarily physical stuff. So all the tools I've gathered over the years have been trying to get to this pain body from different angles, so that, if a woman doesn't want to insert a yoni egg in their vagina, that's fine, but there's all sorts of different things. So this is what I do. It really depends how you want to approach things. To me, you need to look at your family tree for sure as well. So I trained as a family constellation therapist with the source, with Berhalinga in Germany, and I've been very lucky to learn from the source in many different things. So yeah, I make a soup like yourself. I make a mix of all these tools to assist women in whatever. Sometimes the physical symptom is the most urgent thing, isn't it? But sometimes it's a combination of things. So you try and we support them from wherever angle they want to get started at. Pelvic floor, whatever. Yeah, it's all.
Because that's what they'll come with. They'll come with the physical issue. So the training that I have done with yourself has been starting at the very beginning. Probably was the yoni steaming. It was the family constellations. It's the cycle tracking. You actually did a course explaining the whole menstrual cycle, which blew me away. And more recently, yoni egg. Or maybe I said that. No, I didn't say that. So I have learned a huge amount from you, Mayella, over the years. So even though this course is for homeopaths, and a lot of the training initially came from you to me, and now we're giving it out to other people as well, to other homeopaths. So your job is not just as the translator on this course at all. You have played a massive role in it. So you have been talking to me for the last few years, well, the last, maybe not years, but for quite some time, about getting this, probably, about getting this, because we met at Ishnak a couple of times, and we've been talking online about how do we get contraceptive detoxing to your people, and you have quite a large community of people, because you're not just working in Ireland anymore. What was it that interested you about the contraceptive detoxing? Do you remember?
Well, it's again bringing another tool to women to help them work with their pain body. But it very quickly became apparent to me we have a language barrier, so that you could approach Spanish speakers. It would be crazy for me to come up with even an artificial intelligence tool to get you to give one-to-one sessions would be crazy, because of the sheer number of women who would be interested. So it became apparent to me that the best way to go about it was to create a course for the homeopaths in Spanish-speaking countries, so that they would, already have some experience, and they see the point, they see the urgency, they see the need for this. And with you, precisely because of your background, it's not often we find homeopaths or yoga teachers or whoever who has the background of understanding how our menstrual cycle works and how it penetrates and permeates in every area of our life. And to me, that's the main ingredient in your soup, in your pot, that makes this training awesome. Because although I'm sure the original protocol from the Dutch guy is incredible and sets the foundations for all sorts of amazing work, we all add stuff to it. And for me, if you want this for women, this sort of protocol applied to women, you need to take into account all of these issues, like the phase of the menstrual cycle, the experiences they've had of first menstruation, all of these emotional things, because menstruation and hormones are all about emotions. Of course, there's some biochemicals running in our body, but emotional stuff is there so much. So a man can only tell you so much unless he's had a period and a period cramp. So adding this part which you add to the protocol, to me, is what makes it more interesting and richer for people. So rather than doing the one-to-ones, which would be possible but pretty crazy, maybe not possible really, why not we train people to apply this protocol? And that's what we're doing. And
the protocol itself, like you said, it's a Dutch man who developed it, and it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. But you don't need 3 months to do this, to learn this protocol. I read it in a book. This protocol is one little part of everything that we're doing, and we really wanted 3 months because we wanted women to be able to track their own cycle. And to be honest, it's probably going to be mostly women who do this course. It isn't exclusively for women. Male homeopaths are very welcome to join. Sorry, I'm afraid it's going to fall. But we really want women to sit with their own cycle, to feel comfortable with it, whether they still have a physical cycle or a physical womb or not. And it's going to take 3 months. to see all the patterns emerge. And there are patterns, there's amazing patterns that emerge. And unless we're sitting with that and observing it, we're not able to pass this information on to other women. And this isn't just about clearing synthetic hormones out of somebody. This is about educating this generation and the next generation and empowering women to step back into their womb energy, not be ashamed of it, not be embarrassed of it, not try to suppress it because that's what they've been told to do, and they can share it. They can share that information with their families. Yeah. And that's why it's going to take longer than a weekend course.
Well, women often don't realize that you know, our menstrual cycle is a lot more than the bleeding days. You know, we have 4 weeks, roughly 28 days of a cycle during which lots of things happen, but we tend to emphasize on the premenstrual phase because it's awful and we become this monster, and then on the bleeding days because it's uncomfortable, blah 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 blah. And the only way you can realize there's stuff going on the other 3 weeks is by tracking your cycle, and then tracking it for long enough so that you start seeing coincidences. You know, month after month, something is going to happen. When you are able to see patterns, you become this oracle. I think it's not magical or mystical, but if you can predict that on the 2nd week you become super hungry for sugar or this or the other, you can prevent it, you can plan for it, you can look into it, you can, you know, you become your own oracle in effect. And it's nothing to do with magic as such, and it's everything to do with understanding who you are through observing every single day of this cycle, not just, and then the 3 months, of course, so you can start catching yourself repeating certain things, which is awesome. It's really good.
And then at the end of the 3 months, when the course is complete, we're putting together a list of homeopaths who have done this training with us. And it is with us. It's not just with me, it's with us. And they are going to be listed on your website, so that when people are, and they will be listed on mine as well, when people are looking for a homeopath who has done all of this training, they know where to go to find it.
This is it. And I think it's very important that people who are interested in the course realize the reason why we're making them do the 3-month thing is because they themselves need to experience the change that the impact of this tracking in their own understanding, in their own self-knowledge. We cannot give what we don't have. So you as the therapist, you as a homeopath need to experience this, need to understand it within your own cycle, whether you have a womb or not, like Antoinette said, whether you have a cycle or not, because we're still cycling, even we're not bleeding anymore for whatever reason. Once you understand this, you're able to share it from a different standpoint. You know, it's sharing something you understand, you've experienced within your body. So you pass it through the body, pass it to your brain, pass it through your heart, and understand it from that point of view. Yeah. So then you can share it.
And also then you're not just relying, because you've given the woman the knowledge and the power to connect back in with her own womb and her own womb energy. She's not just relying on the few little pills that she takes. You know, this is bigger than the few little homeopathic pills that she takes to clear out synthetic hormones. This is her being much more aware of things going wrong as soon as they go wrong. Because otherwise, like you said, we're only tuning in before we have our period, when we're feeling like a bit of a monster, or when we have our period, we're only tuning into the bad stuff. We're not tuning into the good stuff. And our menstrual cycle is such an indicator of our overall health, emotional, physical, spiritual, and mental health. And we can see changes very, very quickly when we're a lot more in tune with it. And I know myself, my clients who get the best results are the ones who are willing to sit with this energy, and the ones who are willing to take out their trackers at night time, just for a couple of minutes, note how they were feeling during the day. And then it's not just the homeopath healing somebody else, it's a woman stepping into her own power, saying, no, I'm going to look after myself now.
Exactly. And we need to realize too that you know, there is no error in the human design, and the way women express themselves about their wombs, about their menstrual cycle, about their bleeding time, is as if it was a disease, a mistake, the curse, it's even called, isn't it? But this is like saying, you know, God, the source, whatever you want to call it, did something that was made wrongly. So couldn't it be the case that instead of our bodies being designed badly with curses and awful things, we're missing the point on something. And I think this is what people need to realize. We're missing the point on what can I benefit? You know, how can I benefit other than making babies or not making babies, making that choice? How can I benefit from this cycle that occurs month after month for 40 years on average? 40 years of your life, you're going to have a menstrual cycle. So is it just a curse? Is it really that God doesn't love us? I don't think so. I think we're missing a point, and we're making a point about why we should be looking at the menstrual cycle as something else. There's information in it for you, for your benefit, for your family's benefit, for the community benefit. So happy woman makes a happy world. We need a lot of happier women.
We do. The course is just for homeopaths, and it begins on the 16th of April. So just over a week and a half, and we're going to close the doors on it next week, probably on Thursday, because there will be a lot to do after we close registration. Make sure everybody is ready to go. The first video is up already, explaining how we want people to get started. So if anybody wants to join up today, they can get started on it today. We are covering lots more besides a contraceptive detox. Like we said, we're going to talk about ovulation, some things that can go wrong with cycles, womb trauma, whatever that is from, and some really amazing homeopathic remedies I've seen come up again and again, especially in the first prescription. So we are going to finish this up. If there's any questions, please ask. You can send us a message either. It's going to be in English, and Mayella is going to translate it for us, adding her own twist. And yeah, that is it. The links are all over our pages for joining. We're talking with Janie Lavelle from Saved and Seer tomorrow, which will be lovely as well.
Yes,
yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, she's great. She's great. Okay, I think that's it. Any questions? Please send them.
Thank you very much, Antoinette.
Bye.
Send you a hug and
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.